Hello viewers, welcome to Coding Interviews channel. Hope you are doing great. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I have created bunch of playlists to cover various categories of problems such as stacks, queues, linked lists, trees, graphs, BFS, DFS, dynamic programming and so on. Please check them out. I have uploaded the code for this problem to the GitHub repository. You can get the link from description below this video. Let's jump into today's problem. Number of good ways to split a string. You are given a string S. A split is called good if you split S into two non-empty strings P and Q where its concatenation is equal to S and the number of distinct letters in P and Q are same. Return the number of good splits you can make in S. So basically we are given with a string, right? So and in that string we can assume safely here all the characters are English letters in lowercase from A to Z. So all the lowercase English letters, okay? So that is a given string as an input. So now we are supposed to split into two parts such that the number of distinct letters in the first part is equal to the number of distinct letters in the second part. That is when we are going to have that split as a good split. So now we need to find how many good splits are possible in a given string, right? So let's say if the string length is n, right? So how many splits are possible, right? So if the string length is n, right? So how many splits are possible? Obviously there will be n minus 1 splits possible. Why n minus 1? Because we are looking for only non-empty strings, right? We are only looking for non-empty. That means each split, if you are splitting on the anywhere, the first part or the second part, it should have at least one character, right? So that is why there will be n minus 1 splits possible for a given string, right? So let's try to understand with this example, right? A, B, C, D. Let's say that's the example, right? So you could give split A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. That's it. Only these are the splits possible. The string length is 4 and the splits are 3. That's it. Since we need to have at least one string, one character in each of the splitted strings, there are only 3 splits possible, right? That's the reason why these are non-empty. So all these splits are non-empty, right? So that's how we are able to understand that there are n minus 1 splits possible for a given string of length n. So for example, if n is equal to 1, right, there is no split possible because you can't even divide the string into two parts, because you need at least two strings such that you split into one, each string will have at least one character, right? So our n should be at least 2 so that we will have one string on left side and one string on right side, right? So now out of these splits, right, how many of them have same number of distinct letters? So they could occur any number of times, but they should be how many of them are distinct, right? So let's try to understand in a brute force way and then we will optimize how we are going to do it, right? So let's take this as a string ACB ADB, right? So as we said, this string length is 6. So that means there are 6 minus 1, that is 5 splits were possible, right? So these are 5 different splits that are possible, right? So A is first split, I mean the splitted string P we call, that's what we said, right? P is first string and Q is second string. So P has only A and Q is CBADB, right? So how many distinct characters are there in P1? So how many distinct characters are there in here? C, B, A, D. That means 4, right? 4 distinct characters. Likewise, we are able to split into 5 different arrangements, 5 different splits, right? So now let's go and look at how many distinct characters are there in it, right? So AC, that is 2, B, A, D, and a B is repeating. So that means 3, right? So here this is not a good split, right? Not a good split. Why? We said the number should be equal, right? A split is called good if you split S into two non-empty strings P and Q, where P and Q concatenate should be equal to S and number of distinct letters in P and Q should be same. So here P is 1, Q is 4, so it is not a good split, and even the second one is also not a good split. Now go to the third one, ACB 3, ADB 3, yes, this is good, right, because they are same. And go on here, ACBA, so it will be 3 and it is 2. Here ACBAD, so A is repeated, right, so that means it's 4 here and a 1. So out of all we have only one good split here. So what we are essentially doing here, we split and we trying to count how many distinct characters are there in each of the splits, right. So that means if you have like n characters, right, so n minus 1 in here and n minus 1 in here and 1 in here, right. So that likewise you are splitting. So for each split we are trying to redo the number of distinct letters combination, right. So how many distinct letters are possible in each of them. So what that is giving us the complexity. Basically, if you are saying okay, this is a string length n, right, so we'll be going through all the n once and counting the distinct characters, right. So that will be equal to how many times there are n minus 1 splits are possible, and each split we have to do n characters in order to get the splits, right, I mean get the distinct characters. You have to go through all the n characters. So this will be order of n squared, right. So this will be a brute force way, right, if you want to really do this way. But let's try to improve, right. So we are not going to use this method in this particular code what I am going to show you, but we will use an improved method, right. So the improved method is what we are going to have is, as and when we are trying to calculate the distinct letters, so we will do a calculation starting from left to right, right, left to right, right. So how are we going to do? So we will keep a counts array, right. So A, B, C, sorry, let me take this and we will put right here. And so when you are at A, we saw only one distinct character, good, put 1 here. A, C, we saw 2 distinct characters. A, C, B, we saw 3 distinct characters now. A, C, B, A, we still saw only 3, even though characters 4, we saw only 3 distinct. Again A, C, B, A, D, so we saw 4. A, C, B, A, D, B, we still saw 4. So that means at the end of this string, right, when we started from left to right, we saw at first character obviously 1 distinct, at second character 2, at third character 3, at fourth character the character is repeated, the A is repeated, right, we still say 3, and at fifth character D, this is a new one, so that's why we get 4, and B we say 4 still because B is repeated. So this is for left to right. Then what we are going to do is right to left, right. So similarly what we are doing is we went from left to right, now we go from right to left. Now start from B here, okay. So what when we are at B, obviously there is only one character, and then B, D, so good, 2 characters, right. B, D, A, 3 characters, good, right, and B, D, A, and then B repeated 3 characters, good. B, D, A, C, 4th character, B, D, A, B, C, A. Again, A is repeated, so 4, right? So this is how it is going to be from right to left, right? So left to right is the above array and right to left is below array. So now in this case, what we are going to see is, since these are the number of characters, right? So what we are going to see is, we are going to compare these two arrays in the splits that we actually do, right? So that means when we are comparing this one, we compare with this, right? So 1 and 4, right? Left partition is A and right split is CBADB. So left is here, that is 1, and right is here. 1 and 4, are they equal? No. And move on. 2 and 3, are they equal? No. 3 and 3, yes, they are equal. So number of ways you increment by 1, good. And 3 and 2, are they equal? No. 4 and 1, are they equal? No, right? So that's how we are able to identify. So the logic is, we go from left to right and build up the distinct characters array, and go from right to left, build the distinct characters array, and we try to compare those arrays by I plus 1, right? I plus 1 at every place, right? So 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, like that. So I plus 1. If whenever the characters are same, I mean the counts are same, we will increment our good ways, right? That's what we are going to see, the code that I am going to show. So, and we will come and identify the what is time complexity and space complexity for this particular algorithm once we see the code. Okay, let's go look at the code. So since I have to keep track of the distinct characters, right? How can I keep the count of distinct characters? I will be using a hash set. Okay, so I declared a hash set of characters, and let's take n is the string's length. We have two arrays, one is left to right and right to left, right? One is left to right and right to left. So now for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, we keep adding the characters to the hash set, and how many ever characters that we accumulated, we put that count into L to R array, that is left to right array. This is we are going from left to right, right? So we are able to build this first array, right? And then empty the hash set, basically reset the hash set, and start going from right to left, right? We started from 0 to n, now we are starting from n minus 1 until 0. So you keep adding to the hash set and update the count, right? Update the count, hash set dot count. If at all, that put that count into right to left array. And now as long as your I minus 1 is greater than 0, right? So this step I combined comparing the this with this, but for a second, let's say this is not there in our thing. This is just an optimization that I wanted to do, but let's go here, right? So we did, this is left to right, and we added the count into the right to left. So we went through left to right and we went to right to left. Now we have two arrays, right? The counts, this count and these counts are available. So now what I am going to do is go through those two arrays. As long as I plus 1 is less than n, compare left to right of I is equal to right to left of I plus 1. If so, you increment the count of ways. Finally return the number of ways. So this is how we are able to do the, solve the problem, right? This is how we are able to solve the problem. So there are a couple of optimizations that are possible here. So we actually don't need two arrays. We just need only one array L to R, and while we go through the right to left, right, we can just get this count and try comparing that with this, right? So what we could essentially do here is we could simply comment this out for now, right? And what we can see is we don't even need this, right? So what we'll say is, if at all I minus 1 is greater than 0, right? So L to R minus 1 is equal to HS dot count, right? If so, we'll just increment. So that means we are not in need of the right to left array, right? So if we do that optimization, we are getting rid of this one more for loop as well as getting rid of this right to left array also. So if you, even if you don't do those optimization, there is no real harm to the complexity, because the complexity will be still same, but the only thing is in practical the space and time it will be more, right? In practical that it will take more time without this optimization, but when you calculate the complexity itself, there is no big difference. So now let's go ahead and look at the time and space complexity, right? Time and space. So let me revert to its original thing so that we are not confused here, right? Like that. So this is what I'm going to have right now. So just to keep whatever the topic that we discussed with two arrays, I have with two arrays, right? Good. So time complexity. We are going through the entire string once, that is order of n, right? Left to right. And we are going through right to left, that is an order of n. And we are going through both arrays again, right, in this, if at all we have to uncomment. But if since I got that also in here, we will say order of n plus order of n, right? So that is order of 2n. So we will say still it will be order of n in the big O notation, right? So, and space complexity, we are using 2 additional memory, right, which is equal to the length of the string. So that means order of n plus order of n. So it will be order of 2n. In big O notation we will say still order of n. So even though you don't use this R2L array, just like I did not use by commenting this and just directly comparing the HS count, we will still say order of n is the time complexity, even if you use or don't use. But in practicality, it will need less memory. That's what we talked, right? Good. So what we are going to say is this algorithm is order of n time complexity and order of n space complexity. So if you compare with the brute force approach, right, it was order of n square time complexity. So we were able to improve the time complexity to order of n, right? So that's how we are able to solve the problem with a improved method. So if you have any further questions, please post them in the comment section below this video. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I have posted the code to the GitHub repository. You can find the link in the description below this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe and share among your friends. Please click on the bell icon so that you will be notified about all my future videos. Thank you for watching. I will be back with another problem very soon. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.